What's up, bookworms? Welcome to episode 112 of the Cantina Book Club podcast, where readers can find interviews with authors of all genres. I'm Megan, self-proclaimed content queen, here to bring you insights from the authors themselves. Each week features a Cantina conversation with an author. Sometimes they're returning guests, and sometimes it's someone new. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on an episode. And feel free to browse through existing episodes so that you can catch a previous interview about a book that you've finished. Today's episode features a chat with Heather Ogden talking about her book, The Betrayal, The Lies We Fear. That book is available now. This was fun talking with Heather about her debut and just what she's learned as a debut author, and also getting into a little bit deeper into her characters and the story that she's trying to tell and what she has planned for future books in the series. Sometimes spoilers do pop up in these conversations, but the episode is more enjoyable if you've read the book anyway. So if you don't know why we're talking about some father-daughter relationships in The Betrayal, hit pause, add this episode to your playlist, go pick up a copy of The Betrayal, and the interview will be here when you're ready. Just a heads up that I often use adult language to express my feelings towards these authors and their work, whether the characters need to get their shit together or I'm saying what the fuck to the author for making me feel things. Just please be mindful of listening ears. Books coming out this week of November 11th. Good Hair Days by Grace Helena Walls. I read the book and it's women's fiction, but it does pack an emotional punch. And it's just really well told story and really pulls at the heartstrings. I recommend it if you're into women's fiction. And keep an eye out for the interview with Grace that I'm going to be posting next week. And now a word from Crystal Hope, founder of the Book Podcast Connection.
Hello, listeners. My name is Crystal Hope. I am the host of Must Love Books podcast and the organizer of the Book Podcast Connection. The BPC is a networking group of over 100 book-related podcasts, from fantasy to romance to horror and every genre in between. There are even podcasts for authors and writers. Check us out on Instagram at Book Podcast Connection or at www.bookpodcastconnection.com and discover your next bookish obsession.
Now, I know I'm biased, but I definitely recommend you all to check out the amazing plethora of bookish podcasts and subscribe if you're looking to get more out of your reading lists. But without further ado, get ready, grab your favorite drink. Here is Heather. Today we've got Heather Ogden. We're talking about The Betrayal, The Lies We Fear. That book is available now. Heather, thanks for joining me today. This was a cool, quick read, and I enjoyed dipping my toes into your world and the characters that you developed, and I'm excited to talk a little bit more about it today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, with any new book, I try to go on with a blank slate, not really expecting much. And there's something about like fantasy or sci-fi adjacent that piques my interest for sure. So to get started, can you share a summary of the book so that people can follow along with the conversation?
Yeah, absolutely. The Betrayal is about a young girl named Angela Arabella who finds out that her father, Valerius Arabella, who's the leader of the country, is lying to her and the whole country. And she has to make the decision whether or not she wants to be loyal to him or do what's morally correct and stand against him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always makes for some juicy drama and character development because she's young.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Through the first book, she goes through multiple ages. It is a coming of age, having to adapt with a father like Valerius.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And he's an interesting character too, for sure. And just a heads up, whatever, it's up to you if you want to be spoiler free or spoiler friendly. It's because generally I feel like these conversations, the episodes are more enjoyable if the listener has read the book. So it's up to
Mhm.
you if you want to just welcome the spoilers or hold off.
Yeah,
So
I'll
we'll
welcome them. I'll
okay.
see the second book too, because that's already written.
Yes. Oh, perfect. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so can we go into your background a little bit? Like maybe either personal or professional, how, like, really what led you to bring this story to the world?
So this story originally came to me in a dream. I don't remember the contents of the dream, it was just the story. far along from then, but I was in high school. We had just finished reading 1984. And I
Mm,
had the dream of the book, the story of a dictator controlling, hiding magic, and someone finding out. Now, the story had evolved because when I wrote it in high school, it was definitely in disarray.
yeah.
And it's just evolved over the years. And then eventually, when I decided I wanted to write novels, I had tried something else at first and it wasn't clicking, and I went, "You know what? I think this one will The Lies We Fear, The Betrayal will be a good starting point for me." And
Mhm.
it kicked off.
Yeah, yeah, that's so funny how it came to you in a dream. Because I think that's, like when I speak to authors, sometimes that happens. Because I even hear of people doing, like, sleep journals, where they just have a journal ready so that they can write down their dreams. Because even, like, sometimes I'll have super lucid dreams, and I'm like, "What? What was that?" So I think that's, like, kinda cool that you it just something was like, it wasn't leaving you alone. Cool that like, you did developed a story out of it, and I feel like, yeah, at that point, it's like you could almost go anywhere with it.
Yeah, as soon as I had it, I was like, "This would make for a good story. Let me write that down before I
Yeah.
forget." And that was right to do because I would have absolutely forgotten.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, 100% because there's dreams that, like, I remember waking up and I'm like, "Okay, this is really disturbing," and it feels, like, really real. I think I texted my sister-in-law because I was like, "I had a really bad dream where something happened to you. Can I know this is silly. Can you just let me know that you're okay?" Like, because it's just, like it is. Dreams are so crazy like that. So I
Yeah.
think that's yeah, it's almost like an open playing field of just storytelling because it's like, what's going on in my brain, right?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
that's so funny. So, getting into I don't know what kind of research you did, but how did you approach just to maybe like flesh it out or get some details that you wanted to be authentic that you weren't familiar with?
Yeah, so I actually did a lot of research into specifically psychology because 'cause I'm an
Mm,
only child, I don't have siblings, I especially don't have older brothers. I don't know how that works. I don't have a dad who, is trying to manipulate me. I'm not in that kind of relationship. I have a very good relationship with my father, so having to write those was very difficult for me. Thankfully, I was at the time still in college, so I had access to a bunch of academic research
there you
to
go.
be able to help me. I unfortunately do not have access to those now. But
Right.
at the time, it was a lot easier for me to access the psychological databases and websites to help me.
That's so funny because I think do you still have any like former classmates that are still in school or anything? Do you still have it's like,
Yeah,
hey,
there are some.
enter the search term for me real quick. Let me know what you find. Yeah, I know. That is tricky. That's the tricky part about it. It's like you have access to all these resources, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh shit!" Like, I don't
Yeah.
like, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah, and I'm
100%.
struggling college student, just out of college, got debt. I don't necessarily have the funds to be spending
Yeah.
100, 200 bucks on academic research journals.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I don't know. There might be some subscriptions out there where
Yeah.
but then again, yeah, it's like you're weighing the cost versus, "Am I even gonna find anything that I need in here?" kinda
Yeah.
thing. No, I can relate to that. It's been a while since I've finished college, but I was a psych minor, so I totally understand that there's just so much out there and subgenres and subcategories and, like, little super focused and specific either journals or experiments or labs, like, things like that where it's so crazy because I think from what I remember, it's like we still there's still a lot of our brain that we don't really understand
Yeah.
how it works, which is crazy to me. That's crazy to me because the brain is you, right? That's like
Yeah.
you. It's not just like your knowledge and your function that's telling your body to do what it needs to do, but it's also like your personality and like how these collective connections make you you. And my father, he had a couple brain injuries years ago and we had to rally around and care for him until but just like watching his recovery, his personality, it was and he doesn't like it's crazy how much he doesn't really remember like about the interactions that he's had with us or like with my brother or with his sisters and it's like he was an asshole for a little bit but he doesn't really remember but it's so crazy how yeah I find that whole idea like so fascinating about the brain
Yeah.
and that's really cool that you were able to just pique your curiosity into psychology, into whatever those sub areas of study. And then with dreams, even again, we don't know what the heck is going on with dreams. Like we
Yeah.
don't like from what I understand, it's like our brain trying to make sense of the collective sensory input, and then it's like recycling that. But like even then it's like why am I recurring dreams about running away from zombies? Like why I
Yeah, there's some
don't
subconscious in there.
So this is like your debut, right? I mean,
Yes.
this is like your first book. Yeah, that's so exciting. What like draws you to the genre, like that you decided to base your book on?
So it's actually my first time writing a dystopian.
Yeah, okay.
I've never written dystopian before, so I was really shocked that this one hit it off. I've completely written in fantasy. I love magical realism, the fantastical elements, the almost reality that we could have magic, but it's not quite like our world type of feel. It makes me feel like I can escape from reality when I don't want to be here or don't want to deal with the stress that is the real world. Being
Yeah,
able
right.
to read and write in magical realism lets me have that escape.
Yeah, and I could tell you had fun with that too, because I feel like you have to you can't write things that you're not interested in, because I feel
Yeah,
like the readers could tell for sure. Because I do yeah, I feel like I read a lot of different genres, but I don't know, something about fantasy is just, like, really booming right now too, and when it's done really well, it's just like you just get sucked in. There's just, so much work that goes into it though, like with the
yeah,
world building and the details that may not even make it into, like, your final print. Like, it's just maybe it's just like a little Bible, I think they call it, like, a book Bible where it's just they got all the facts, the history, the lore,
yep.
um, that maybe it's just it's there, but you don't spell it out in the story,
Yeah,
and it's a tricky balance for sure. No, yeah, I totally get that. So, there are, like, some sensitive topics that you approach. There's not necessarily, like, bordering on child neglect, but there's the brothers who go missing, like, they don't know where their mom is,
yep,
and there's, like, isolation, and obviously there's oppression, and there's rebellion, and there's, like, kind of or a rising rebellion, and there's, like, kind of these themes that may be a little more sensitive, maybe potentially warn the reader about. How did you approach that? Had to navigate some of those maybe more sensitive topics and troubling just, like, more serious, like, maybe darker themes that you put in your book?
yeah. For that, I really just resulted to realism for that of what would actually be happening. There are times I know in the book Hunter and Angelette joke a lot of the times, and it may seem like they're trying to downplay the situation, but they're teens. They're trying to make light of the situation because everyone's in a horrible place and they're trying to find some joy, some light, and that's realism. People laugh when they're sad. People they have all sorts of reactions to different events.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. What did you do did you have to do anything to get in the zone and get out of the zone? Like,
No,
just
it just came naturally, and for me, I think honestly the hardest part was having to tone it down. 'Cause I got so into the Valerius character when writing, I was like, this is for 13 to 19-year-olds, slow it down. They don't need a lot." So I had to tune a bunch, but just I really wanted to hit that spooky, not even spooky. Trying to think of what the word would be.
maybe like eerie, it's like if it reminds you if kind of 1984, it's like the Big Brother, right? It's
Yeah,
kinda
yeah, that took a
something's
lot
a
of
little
inspiration.
unsettling.
Yep,
Yeah. I remember when I
absolutely.
read 1984 and, like, I read it, like, way into my adult, like, years. I think I the first because it's a classic, right? But I think the
Yeah,
first time I read it was, like I think it was, I was well into adulthood, so I was like, "Okay." I think it was, like, when I was in a book club, I think it was someone's book club pick. So we knew it was kinda like Big Brother dystopian, and it's a little yeah, like, that kind of component of it is unsettling because once you get down to it, you're following this character, and then what is foreshadowed, like, it eventually happens. Like, as you're watching, like, the slow it's like almost it's like a slow train wreck,
yeah,
and you can't look away. And so that's kinda what made me feel for Angelette a little bit because it's like, she's, like, super innocent, and then when she, like I feel bad for her because it's like her brothers were her she loved them so much, they loved her, and then they were not around anymore, and it was just her and her dad and whoever the staff was.
Yeah.
Um, and then I it's like I could tell Valerius, um I think he genuinely cares for her, but not he's also being opportunistic and knowing, like,
Mhm.
he's not shying away from what he thinks he needs to do with her,
Yeah.
and she's just, like, trying to look at the big picture, and she's, "Okay, yeah, this is not cool, and how the heck am I gonna figure this out when he's pretty much watching my every move?"
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. For
Yeah.
Valerius, I had to take it's a twisted sense of paternal love.
Yeah. Well, someone who's
Eventually,
kinda yeah, someone who's he's used to being in control, he's used to having tabs on everything and quelling any sort of dissent. So, he why would that change when he gets home? Like, why would
yeah.
that change with his own kids? And his sons, like, they for sure like, "Oh, hell no."
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, yeah,
Everyone in the story believes that they're right. Everyone has a reason. His is out of paternal love that eventually gets twisted into a sort of twisted obsession.
yeah, and that's scary. Also because she's so young.
Yeah.
She's so young, and we're as the readers, were, like, in her POV mostly. And, like, 10-year-old me was, like, more in line with 10-year-old her, like, kinda hopeful, maybe oblivious. But then, like, even the time jumps, I'm like, I good for her because I would not have been as, like, quick, like, to pick up on things. But then again, she's probably got she's got, like, an overlord for a father who's imagine like, Valerius is, like, intelligent, he's not a dumb dude.
Yeah.
So, she's got that intelligence too, and then she's also eavesdropping, so she's not totally in the dark, she's able to pick up on things, "This is not right, something's not right." And
Yeah.
then she really when sh the even, like, little moments of rebellion that she can take when she's meddling with files and she's sneaking around, that's when, like, her moral code, she can act on that, even though she knows, "I'm taking a huge risk
Yeah.
here."
I think one of my favorite things, and I was super meticulous about this, because even though I try to portray Angelette as naive and innocent, she does know. She knows something, 'cause I haven't seen anyone comment on this, so I'm slightly a little hurt. But directly after she gets the note from her brothers, she switches from calling Valerius daddy to dad.
Mm,
And then after a section with Hunter, she proceeds to switch from calling him dad to father. It's a
mm,
slow progression of moving away. She's moving away from that paternal sense while he's moving closer.
yeah. Yeah, I will apologize for myself for not pointing it out because I think it was probably in my subconscious because I think I'm like
Yeah.
because I take notes and everything. I'm like
Yeah.
trying to prepare for our conversation, but yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point because that is totally like the show don't tell, like where
Yeah.
you're showing her like when things like shift.
Yeah.
And how that's shifting for her because she's the baby, she's the princess. Because Valeris, he's not really focused on that either. She's not calling me daddy anymore. Or I'm like, I got 2 little boys, and my older one, he's 8, and he stopped calling me mommy. He went from mommy to mom, and I noticed so quickly. I was
Yeah.
like like, people prepare you for it, but they don't. But my younger one, he's gonna be 5 really soon, so I'm still like, I guess now I'm prepared for it, but it's still gonna be like sad. I'm just like it is a thing, so I don't know, like, Villiers is just wrapped up in his own shit
Yeah.
where he's, like, quelling a rebellion, and he's gotta maintain order and, make sure that he's keeping an eye on his daughter. There are some things that I'm curious about, whether probably this is a spoiler, but there is the whole idea that there's magic isn't a spoiler, but, like,
Yeah.
he uses magic
Yes.
even though it's not allowed. It's
Yeah.
like it's but when we first are meeting him and his I'm, like, getting the gist of the family dynamic, he's pissed that his wife seems to have access to magic.
Yeah.
And so and so am I right in understanding that it's just, like, a big no-no in society? Like,
Oh, yes. No,
it's
he like,
super regulated,
that's one
like
of the secrets he's keeping, like, only the
mhm.
select few that he has chosen is allowed to even have access to magic. Everyone else, you gotta live a normal life.
Yeah, cause so now that reminds me of when they're looking and they're kinda, like, looking in the secret room, they're looking at, like, the titles of the books, and they're learning a lot. It's a whole
Yeah.
thing, it's a whole process that everybody has potential. So it's all laying all the groundwork for a big oppressive leader and a rebellion. Like,
Yep.
why are they rebelling? Is, "Oh, because they're hiding shit, and this is like, they're blocking access to something that we should all that would level the playing field for sure,
Oh, yeah,
for sure."
absolutely. Cause and in the rebellion that Hunter was a part of, he freaked out because he got word that they had a magic user, and he was like, "Oh, no, not at all. Can't be allowed to even exist for a minute."
Yeah, yeah, and that was, like, I don't know, I wanna explore Hunter and Angela's, like, budding friendship because, it's part of the coming of age where she realizes, like, "Oh, not all is as it seems, and I don't have all the information, and the other side isn't so bad," and she can sympathize with the other side, but, like, having someone her age that she can relate to and find things out, and she's connecting with him, and she's also able to express herself too. She's like, how do you think I feel? What do you think it's like for me? I
Yeah.
seem to have all this privilege, but I'm like underneath his thumb." And because there's something about coming of age and there's something about middle grade and there's something about young protagonists. It's like a little different something in a story. Cause I'm just thinking, oh, Stranger Things, like they were so young and it's like we're following a bunch of kids or like the Goonies or you're following kids discovering this huge thing and going on this huge adventure. So I want to explore how you develop their friendship and what you're kind of like just bringing those two like opposing sides or maybe not so different personalities together.
Yeah, so I had based that loosely off of my relationship with my fiance. We actually started
Oh,
out as good friends and then developed. So I took a similar approach to Hunter and Angelette, although in any books that I write, I tend to not like to push a single romantic interest because I don't want to stop fan fictions from shipping with whoever they want to. So I try to leave it open, but I do definitely have a preference. But for their friendship, it was after the blow up when they come to understand and realize they're both in a horrible situations. One is just in a golden cage, essentially,
Mm,
that it's still a
mhm.
cage.
Yeah.
And they're able to put aside their differences to go, okay, we both recognize this is horrible. This has to stop.
Yeah, plus, like, because 'cause they're still in school, and
Yeah.
she's still trying to, like, sneak food away for him.
Yeah.
She has access, so she's doing her best, but then poor Hunter, he's really "Oh, is she gonna be able to get away to come here today?"
Yeah.
And it's yeah, it's a fine it's not, like, necessarily a tricky line to toe, but it's, "Oh, like, what can I do with this?" Like,
Oh, and also for
yeah.
him, it's I don't exactly explain it in the first book because it's gonna get more explained in the second book. But with his anti-magic, he can't use the circle without her. So he can't even leave without her. So if she is gone for multiple days, he's stuck.
Yeah,
He is
yeah,
fully reliant on her.
in this one room with the same books that he's read, like, 2 to 3 times.
Couldn't imagine.
And she can't, like, stock up, right? She can't, like, bring him bulk supplies, like,
No, because
because
it's
nobody's supposed to know.
too suspicious.
Yeah, oh, that's so fun. There's so many funny things that you could do with that. Funny and, like, really engaging things that you could do with
Yes.
that. So I'm gonna throw this at you. What were the most challenging parts to write? What were the most enjoyable parts to write?
Oh, so I always get stuck on the hardest part because I flip between writing the brothers, but also emotionally writing the scene where she's watching Hunter run away because it's such a big conflict for her. I remember when I wrote that scene, the Hunter running away for the betrayal, I had to stop so many times because I couldn't see the screen through my tears.
Oh,
I was
you got
crying
you got
so hard.
into it.
I got
Yeah,
too into
yeah.
it. Like, that scene took me probably a full day just to
Oh,
write.
wow. Yeah,
And then the
yeah.
brothers, just because I don't have that connection, so it was hard for me to connect of going, how do older brothers connect with a younger sister? I think enjoyable. Honestly, I think the banter with Hunter and then the discovery of magic is the most just 'cause it feels so lighthearted, it's like a breath of fresh air away from the stress and nervousness that is the political intrigue and
Yeah, for sure. No, I love brother aspect. My brother's younger. He's 2 years younger than me, and we didn't I don't know if it's just the dynamic of our family, but we didn't get along from, like, ages 10 to 24. So, I don't know, but if I had older brothers, I imagine that would have been a much different relationship, right? 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't even then, like, even when I got older and, like, our relationship got better, but not quite like where it is now, I remember him being I was surprised at how protective he was about certain things, like, I think, like, my mom like, my mom's Mexican and half of our family is, like, still in Mexico, and so I years ago, I was going with my mom to visit them and stay with family for a couple weeks, but my mom left and I remained behind, and my brother was like, "What? Why'd you let her stay there? It's like, what are you doing? Like, why'd you let her be there by herself? What are you doing?" And I was just, like, surprised that, like, I didn't know, like, he had that in him at the time. This was, like, maybe 10 yeah, it was at least I was, like, 12 years ago,
Oh
so it
gosh.
was
Yeah.
yeah, so it was just, like things are not like they are now, but even then, it was, like I'll show my age, I don't care. I was, like, just out of grad school. I was, like, 24, 25, I think. Yeah, like 25 ish, and he was, like, 23. But he even then, he was just like, why are you letting her stay there when you're not there? Why isn't she coming back with you?" He never said this to me. He was my mom told me later, and I was like, "Oh." And now our relationship we're closer. We've rebuilt that, like,
Yeah.
he's not I don't know, even when we're teenagers, like, you being a former teenage girl, you understand, like,
Yeah.
it's the worst everything is, like, such a big deal, even though it's like
Hormones, time's
yeah.
changing, there's so many
Exactly.
factors.
Exactly. "This is a big deal. What are you talking about? You don't understand my life at all." A teenage boy, brother. Yeah, it's funny because like, it's in books when I see that sweet relationship, I'm like, "Ugh." I'm trying not to be jealous of fictional characters because my heart hurt for them because I know, like, they it was very apparent that they adored her,
Oh, yeah.
and she loved them so much. So it was like, they had to from what my impression is that they, like it was, like, the bigger picture they had to maybe they saw it as keeping her safe too, like, keeping their distance from her because they saw the writing on the wall. And I wanna clarify this at the end, have they been there the whole time?
Oh, yeah, no,
Or oh,
absolutely. Valeria's lied to them.
yeah.
100%.
Did they go there willingly? They know they had to go there? That's where they were going? No?
No, so they had believed they would have the weekend. Valerius had them moved in the night,
Yeah,
and then they had
okay.
to write the letter for the morning.
Yeah,
And it had to be in
and
their handwriting because Angelette is
so
smart as
they
a
agree
10-year-old.
yeah, because they agreed, "Okay, fine, we'll go." But okay, because I couldn't and I don't know if it's just, like, my interpretation of it, not to say that, like, it was anything how you presented it, but it was like, did they run away and they got caught? Or did they, like they went knowing where they were going and knowing that they, like, will okay, because that makes sense, and that's totally in line with his
Oh,
character
yeah,
of,
no,
like
because in chapter 4 on page 22 where the note
oh,
is,
there you go.
the second paragraph of the letter actually has a secret message in it, which spoils the ending of the books, but for those who know it, can go, "Oh my gosh," because it says we were kidnapped.
Okay, okay. So I'm gonna have to relook at that little note. I'm gonna have
Yep.
to look at because she's even saying she's suspicious, so
Oh,
she's
yeah.
super, "Wait a second, this isn't right," and I was like, it was like, it was so sad. It was so
Yeah.
sad because they just that's the one request. That's like, "Okay, let us celebrate with her, let us have her," and then nope,
Valerius is just cruel.
nope,
That's all he is.
trifling, trifling. Okay. So we talked about this, like parallels to our real world. I kind of want to explore or expand on that where you had mentioned you just notice things how they are now and we don't have to get super political, but I feel like that's what books are. So many fantasy books are so even if you look at history of books, a lot of them like writing is reflective of what's going on at the time.
Yeah.
And so I kinda wanna just explore the parallels of what you drew upon and how you integrated some of the things, some of those ideas and themes into your work.
That's a really tough question 'cause I unfortunately based a lot of this off of psychology.
Mm,
Of just, like, I had the world, I had here's a magic is hidden, I know I want that. Here's a modernized version with some magically integrated technology. And then I had made the characters and gone, "Okay, if I put the pieces in the world, how are they gonna move the world? What is logical based on that?" Like,
yeah,
oh, Valerius is has been raised by his father like this and all previous generations, and he thinks that what he's doing is right, that he's keeping the world safe by trying to hold magic. Then he would wanna put a
yeah.
tighter restriction on it, and
Yeah, that are there any, like, books that you read or authors that you read that you're? Because this reminds me, it's almost that, like, maybe that little mentality of the villain thinks he's right, or the villain, that's their this is their story, where they think their mission is noble, and they think that what they're doing needs to be done at whatever cost, or even, like, movies and films, because we all Thanos, right?
yeah.
I'm the only one with the balls to do this. Or Brandon Sanderson's work, like, some of his work reminds me of, "No, I'm trying to hold shit down.
Mm,
I'm trying to do this," and so I just think it's so fascinating. Are there any authors or books that you like, that you've admired, or that maybe you just, like, tiptoed into to see how to not borrow, but you know what I mean, kinda get the vibe and see what's
yeah.
going on, like, with the storytelling?
'Cause I this is also my first time writing I don't wanna call him a villain, because he's not, he's an antagonist. He's going against Angelette. But it's my first time writing an antagonist that thinks he's right, that has these humanizing characters. Because 'cause I'm used to writing big arching villains that are obviously very evil, very wrong, trying to destroy worlds and whatnot. So, I very much tiptoed into getting into a humanistic antagonist.
For sure, 'cause I think I don't know, I'm the type of person who likes, like, the messiness and the chaos, and I'm like, "Yeah." Like, even the villain, I'm like, even if Valerius was, like, a woman, I'd be, like, totally behind her. I'd be totally behind him. I'm just, like, I'm such a proponent for female rage, no matter how toxic it is. I'm like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, fuck the man, stick it to the man." I'm like, but also, I just love messiness, and I think it just makes the story more interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm like, totally, yeah, make him complicated, make him bad, make him malinformed, or like,
Yeah.
it just makes him that much more interesting. And also, in as a trickle down effect, it would make whatever Angelette's dealing with and whatever choices she makes much more interesting as well.
Oh, yeah, because I
Um,
even have that in book 2, some of his influence does rub off on her, and she does make choices that she doesn't like, but she doesn't agree with them, but unfortunately comes to the realization that sometimes in order to do the right things, you have to do questionable actions.
yeah, yeah. And that's I guess that could be arguably like a reflection on the real world. I guess it's just the older I get, not only am I like, the more I learn and the more I try to like I do my best to try to understand different perspectives, and it's one side really believes that they are the righteous people, or they are right, or this is how things need to be. While another side, opposing side, might think, no.
Yeah.
They might think we have to consider this, that, and the other, and whatever have you, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, what side of any issue that you're on. And it's so crazy the way that the world is, social media, the internet, it's just everybody has access to putting their voice out
Yeah.
there. So it just gets so convoluted. That's like what the tricky part is, where you have to sort through and weed through what makes sense, what's more likely to be true, what's the common sense aspect of it, and what's really like, at the end of the day, even maybe tiptoeing on morality,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like what's like the fair, even though it's not gonna be like, people aren't gonna like it, but maybe this is what's gonna help out and make sense for the majority, you
Yeah.
know? And that's why I feel like I don't, unfortunately, like, I'm in my late 30s, so I've been through, like, a lot of Am I at my are you in your mid-20s if you're, like, just
Yes,
kinda out
younger
yeah,
younger,
okay.
starting to hit mid.
Yeah, yeah, okay, so no, I understand, so it's like your view of the world is so different, and because I have a niece who's 22, and even then, I'm like, I'm so proud of your generation who are just like, "You're over it." You guys you're just over it already. You're just so unapologetically honest
Yeah,
and, like, just you don't even care. It's not like you don't care, but you care, but you're also caring about yourself. At least that's how I get that just from my niece, where
yeah.
she's in tune with herself, she's self-aware, and she's not afraid to express it, where she straight up has been like, "I don't I don't wanna be around this energy, I need to remove myself from the situation,"
Oh,
where,
yeah.
like, it's just I love you so much, and I respect that, like, I respect it, but I'm also like, "But I want you to stay.
Yeah.
I wanna just spend time with you." So, it's yeah, it's kinda like I that fascinates me, really
Yeah.
is, and I know it's funny to see your generation and then generations after that, and even generations before me, and, I don't wanna dismiss them, but at the same time, I'm like, "You guys suck."
Yeah.
Okay, what do you hope readers get out of The Betrayal?
Ooh, what do I hope to get? I love so part of the messaging and theming in The Betrayal was based around a quote I read from Robert Evans. It says, "There are three sides to every story: your side, my side, and the truth." And that is very evident throughout The Betrayal, especially with the switching POVs, going from Angela to Valerius. You're getting both sides of the conflict, and the story itself is the truth about what happened.
Yeah, just, like, making readers think a little bit.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna throw this at you. What advice do you have for Angelette? What advice do you have for Valerius? What advice do you have for Hunter?
Advice for the characters. My advice, probably for Angelette, would be to not give up. If things look dark, there's always a light. Head for it.
Mm,
Advice for Valerius would probably just be just stop. Just stop. Take a second,
like
maybe go to therapy.
right, right? Like, bruh.
Maybe step down from a leadership position and do some self-reflection. Might be necessary.
What are you really mad about, dude?
Yeah. What does he really want? Oh, for Hunter. That one's a tough one because I didn't reveal a lot of Hunter in the first book. That one gets revealed in book 2, but it'd probably be keep hoping because he had his hopes crushed, his parents were taken, his the rebellion he was a part of was crushed, and he's getting to try again, so to keep hope.
Yeah, solid. Leading into that, what can we look forward to in Act 2?
Book 2. So I have read a lot of reviews and comments. I think the biggest one I've gotten is the world building. They want more world building. They felt it was lacking. And I promise in book 2 and 3, there is a ton more world building. There's a ton more scenes with Hunter and Angelette. There is more with Silas and Elfie. They become major side characters in book 2 and 3. So you can expect more from them as well. And it's not in book 2, but in book 3, Scarlet and the twins will make a return.
Oh, so we gotta wait a whole book
Yep,
before we get that
absolutely.
back.
Originally, it was
Ah.
gonna be one whole book because I was planning on this being a trilogy. And then I started writing and got to chapter 45, and it was already 80,000 words, and I had 5 more chapters to go. So I had to get split into 2 separate books.
I don't think that's uncommon. I think a lot of that happens a lot when you're
Yeah.
just like, before you know it, you're like, "Oh, shit."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. I love that you're listening to the constructive criticism, right?
Oh, yeah.
'Cause yeah,
Which
yeah,
I
I think that's
knew.
cool.
I knew
Yeah.
that the biggest issues were gonna be the world building and then the cliffhangers. People are gonna dislike me for my cliffhangers because 'cause I'm gonna do that at every single book. Every
Yeah.
single one of them is gonna have a cliffhanger because I want you to read the next one.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. I hate it, but I enjoy it.
What are you doing to take care of yourself? Like, outside of book writing or maybe because of book writing and developing your stories, what do you do for self-care?
So I have things that I like to call de-stressors. They help me lower my stress levels, and there are various things of just like watching shows, playing games. I make sure I have time for those, and I make time for those.
Mm,
There have been so many times that my fiance has had to come up and take what I was writing on away from me because I was so focused and stressed on it that he's had to almost force me into my de-stressing activities. So I make sure I make time for those.
yeah. What's an example of a de-stressing activity?
So one of my favorite ones is Dungeons and Dragons. I
There you
have a
go.
group that we play with weekly, thankfully. So that one, unfortunately, I can't time myself, but I know that we've got a weekly occurrence. Thank goodness. We
It's in the calendar.
Yeah, and it's said, and
Yeah.
unless something comes up, we are scheduled for that date at that time.
Yeah,
So
that's so
that's at least
funny.
one weekly that I know I have, but usually it's a gaming or watching shows.
Yeah, no, my husband and I do that too, where we have a list of shows that we, like, keep track of, and we, like, after the kids go to bed, we set up and we watch our shows, or we watch a movie that, like, is finally free. We don't have to pay our rent,
Yeah, yeah,
but Dungeons& and Dragons, my husband and his friends and my brother-in-law, they play, like, maybe once a month, mostly online,
yeah,
or if my brother-in-law, he's in T Tennessee, so when they're in town, they try to make sure to schedule time, and I appreciate my me time, like, away from the kids, away from the family, time to myself, so I always encourage him, I'm like, "Yeah, just let me know," so he's okay. But I know whatever he wants to play, it's gonna be, like, 6
Oh,
hours,
yeah,
or it's gonna
no.
be, like,
It
it's
is
gonna
an
be, like, the
all-day
whole
event.
day. Yeah, it's, like, the whole day, so I'm like, "Okay, yeah, no problem. Sunday? Yep, no problem.
Yep.
Let me know." Like, just so that I can make sure, and I tell him, like, "No, go
Yeah,
do it, or go lock yourself in your room," like, whatever. Because 'cause I'm totally an advocate for doing your self-care, enjoying time for you that has nothing to do with what you might feel like is an obligation
yeah,
to the other stuff, because we all need that. It's so important. I'm an advocate for mental health, and just, like, either being social or doing stuff by yourself, like, whatever floats your boat, whatever gets you to regulate yourself and gets you to wind down or wind yourself up. I
yeah.
imagine Dungeons& and Dragons gets a little bit, like, intense sometimes
Ooh,
and, like
it gets heated.
I love that, and then the gaming too,
Yeah.
it's my yeah, 'cause I talk to authors who are like, "Actually, like, I got this idea from playing Final Fantasy," and I'm like
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I love it, I love it. So, Heather Ogden, where can we find you online and on social media?
So you could find me at my website, thelieswefear.com. You can also find me on Instagram at WriterCentral24 and on Facebook at Heather Ogden.
Perfect, perfect. So, The Betrayal, The Lies We Fear, it's available now. Heather, thanks so much for joining me today. This was so fun to talk to you and chat, and thank you for listening to me going off on my tangents about things. And if and when you ever wanna come back to talk about either book 2, book 3, whatever, feel free to keep in touch. Love to chat again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
And there you go. That was Heather Ogden talking about her book, The Betrayal. That book is available now. Check out the show notes where you can find links to find the author online, on social media, and where to purchase the book. In the show notes, you'll also see where to find Cantina Book Club on your favorite social media book communities such as Bookstagram, BookTok, BookTube, Threads, Facebook, and more. And I would love and appreciate if you could hit that follow or subscribe button so that you never miss out on book reviews and author interviews. If you have any book loving friends who are looking to get more out of their reading lists, please share Cantina Book Club with them so that they can find upcoming releases and interviews with authors. Another way to help this podcast is to head over to your favorite podcast player and give Cantina Book Club a rating and a review. It helps me reach more potential listeners and fellow book lovers like you. And that goes for any podcast you listen to. It's one of the easiest things that you could do to help out. If you need book recommendations, you can reach out to me. I'm always excited to share my recent favorites and have a chat about it. Or you can head on over to cantinabookclub.com and to read more in-depth book reviews of all types of genres. While you're at it, you could subscribe by entering your email on the website so that you can get new reviews and episode posts delivered directly to your inbox. If you want to support Cantina Book Club even more, you could donate by finding the form on cantinabookclub.com, whether it's a one-time donation or as little as $1 a month. I seriously appreciate the support and will share my appreciation by giving you a shout out on the show. And finally, one of the best ways to help authors promote their work is to head on over to Amazon, Goodreads, Storygraph, BookBub, wherever you rate and review books, and give a title that you've read a rating and review. It's free and it helps authors so much more than other than purchasing the book or showing them some love on your social media. Thanks so much for listening and see you next time. Cheers.